This week's Webdvar is sponsored by Tammy Abramowitz in honor of her sons, Gadi, Rafi, and Zach. I was actually told recently the following story by a parent who said to me that they were doing homework with their child one night, and this was a particularly difficult homework. And the parent said to the child, "You've got to do your homework," and the child said, "I can't do it, it's too hard." And that's before the child even started. So the parent said, "Well, at least try." And the child, after a while of trying to get out of doing the homework, said, "Okay, fine, I'll try." And the child does 2 examples on the homework, and then the child says, "This is way too hard, I can't do it." And the parent looks at the child, and the parent says, "Listen, I'm successful today because I never gave up. I always tried. And I need for you to at least try. Even if you can't succeed, your teacher will at least know that you've tried." And the very next day, the child goes to school, and the teacher looks at the homework, and the teacher says, "What happened to your homework?" And the child says, "Look, I didn't understand it, teacher, but I tried to do the best that I could." And the teacher said, "Well, I'll excuse you for the homework because all I ever want from any of my students is for them to try." And so, this parent shared the story with me because they felt that it gave them strength in life, and I'm sure it applies to so many of us out there, with the necessity for us to continue to try, even when we think that the goals that we set may be just a little bit too high for our own capabilities. So Yaakov Avinu comes to Haran in this week's Parsha, in Parshas Vayetze, and he finds all of the shepherds standing in front of the well. And he wonders and says, "It doesn't look like it's so dark outside, that the day is over. It's still light. Why are all the shepherds gathered around as if the work day is over?" And he says to them, "Go ahead, give your sheep water and then get back to work." And so they respond to him and say, "Well, isn't it obvious to you? We can't give our sheep to drink water because there's this big tremendous rock, I'm sure that you've seen, that's sitting on top of the well, and because this rock is on top of the well, we can't access the water." So Yaakov begins to inquire about the city, begins to inquire about Haran, and he's told that they know of Lavan, and that Lavan's daughter Rachel is coming here with the tzon with Lavan's sheep. And Yaakov sees Rachel, and all of a sudden he has this tremendous burst of energy. He goes to the rock that was sitting on top of the well, he lifts off the rock, and gives Rachel's tzon, Rachel's flock, as well as everybody else's flock, they could all take water to drink now. And Yaakov is really sending a message, I believe, to these shepherds, because here he was able to do so. He had enough energy to be able to lift off the rock, but they were not. Yet the Sfas Emes wonders, what was Yaakov's original question to these shepherds? Because it was obvious that when Yaakov was walking toward the well, everyone saw, Yaakov certainly saw as well, that there was this tremendous rock on there, and that obviously they couldn't move it. So what was Yaakov asking them when he said, "Why are you standing around?" Well, he knew why they were standing around. So the Sfas Emes says, no, Yaakov was actually asking a rhetorical question. He knew they couldn't move the rock, but he was wondering why they hadn't tried. So the Imrei Emes, the son of the Sfas Emes, says, well, how did Yaakov know that they didn't try? Maybe they were just trying for the last 2 hours, and here, 5 minutes before Yaakov came, they stopped. But Yaakov comes over to them and says, "Why are you standing around? Why don't you try?" And so the Imrei Emes explains that Yaakov knew that they hadn't tried because Yaakov saw them standing around. That when you don't give up on something, it means that you're constantly trying. That if one idea that didn't work, you try another idea. If you don't give up and you're determined to do something, that means you're always trying, and you never just simply leave it and stand by the side. That was the message that Yaakov was sending to these shepherds, and he was saying to them, don't give up. Why are you giving up? Why are you standing around? If it's too heavy for you, just keep on trying. Maybe people will come and help you, but at least you're still trying. You never know what might happen. And look ultimately what happened with me. I tried, and I was able to lift it. And really, I believe an important message for us in life is the necessity for us, for ourselves, and to teach our children and our grandchildren and those that we love and those we care about, never to give up. Whether it's with our children doing homework, or whether it's with trying to find a new line of work because what we were doing in the past just is not working now at getting me parnasa, at getting me a job, and trying something else, or whether it's when it comes to medicine and comes to dealing with various different issues that a person has. We don't have the right to give up on ourselves. We need to be determined to succeed, to keep on trying. And if we fail, well, at least we're able to say that we tried. I think it's a tremendous lesson for us in our lives, and I hope it's a lesson that we take from Yaakov Avinu and apply to ourselves, and make sure that we always try and never give up. Thank you for watching and listening, and have a good Shabbos.